Folks, welcome to the 33rd presentation by AlmonTravel, CARP, and for tonight, Just You Solo Travels, held every Tuesday at 6:30 Atlantic time into late June, and then to resume in early October, giving us some time to enjoy our beautiful maritime summer. Please check the CARP travel website for the information on upcoming presentations, including some of those that are going to be starting in October. As in the past, this presentation is going to be recorded and will be on the CARP travel website shortly after. So as I always do, a little bit about us. AlmonTravel, we've been in business since 2003, which is just a little over 18 years now. One of our major focuses in the past has been destination weddings. We've done a total of 130 destination weddings from across Canada, and where that comes into play for our CARP demographic is if you have any special anniversaries or group gatherings, we can certainly help you put that together, even with travelers from across Canada. Caribbean area vacations, adult only, families, because of our experience with destination weddings and our visits to the different Caribbean countries, we have visited a number of different resorts, and we're able to recommend what might be the best possibility for you. Extended family trips through to Florida, for example. We have expertise on the major theme parks and certainly can help you with planning a family trip or extended family trip to these areas. River cruises, we've done 10 different itineraries around the world. We've done 2 in Vietnam, the Red River and the Mekong, 1 in China, Yangtze, 1 in Egypt, the Nile, 1 on the Mississippi, which was kind of neat on a stern wheeler. We've done a number of European cruises, so again, river cruises. So if you are interested in investigating that, we certainly have the experience to be able to help you with that as well. Ocean cruises, the most popular itineraries: Hawaii, the Mediterranean, the 3 Caribbean itineraries, UK. That was a wonderful trip to go around the UK, one of my top trips, as a matter of fact. Australia, New Zealand, and of course Alaska, so we can help you with any of those as well. Coach tours are also very popular, and they can range from a local backyard coach tour like Newfoundland and Labrador, one of our sister provinces, to coach tours anywhere in the world that are offered. We work with a number of companies that offer these. Travel conditions. Well, as I talk every week about the different travel conditions we're encountering, and here in Nova Scotia, of course, same situation. Happy to announce that Nova Scotia has just opened up after we've been locked down for about 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even longer. We are now able to move around the province and enjoy, what's in our own backyard. Vaccinations are moving along very well. The great news that we may even be able to get our second vaccinations 2 to 4 weeks earlier than expected. So anyway, that's something we're working towards, and of course vaccinations, I think, are going to be the key to us being able to travel internationally. And I would say, I'm expecting to have my second vaccination by when August, perhaps as early as August, and 2 weeks after that, theoretically anyway, I should be able to travel anywhere in the world. Of course, what will deter that will be what the conditions will be for us to come back to our own country. So this is this presentation on solo travel is going to be the first of several that we're going to be doing for this particular part of the travel group. I want to also make a connection between ourselves and CARP, who is the organization that has invited us to be their travel agency of choice. Connection with Bill Van Gorder, who is the Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, in addition to being the senior spokesperson for CARP. Bill and I have several connections on a charitable foundation that he helped establish got to know him quite well on a personal level, and then he used my services to book some travel for himself. And as a result of that, he asked if we would be interested in being the official travel agency for CARP. And of course, we were pleased to do that. I'd like to now introduce Sarah Weetman. She is the head of sales UK. She's going to be giving us some enlightenment on the art of successfully and happily traveling solo. And I do want to mention that that we need to pass on a special thanks to Sarah. She's up well beyond her bedtime. It's 10:30 in the UK. I asked her where she was, and I thought she was from London, but actually she's from 100 miles or something just outside of London. Yeah. Anyway, wonderful to have you here. Thank you very much, Sarah, and please take over.
Oh, thank you, Danny. A pleasure to be here. And 10:30 is not too bad, so we're okay. And I'm wide awake, so I've had plenty of coffee anyway. So, but yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be here. And I'm just going to go through a short presentation about Just You Holidays. We're working in partnership with Danny and AlmonTravel. They are leaders, as Danny said, in so many different aspects of travel, but also solo travel as well. So it can help you with lots of advice that you may need. Just You is the brand I'm going to give you a bit of presentation on today. And we're really, really proud at Just You to say that we are the market leader for solo travel. We are one of the few brands that are dedicated just to independent travelers who wish to travel in a group. And we've been operating now for over 15 years. So I'd like to think that we do know something about solo travel and the needs and what a solo traveler is looking for. We create unique guided experiences that give solo travelers the opportunity to experience the world with other solo travelers as well. Yet we know that no two solo travelers are the same, and everybody is traveling independently for many different reasons, not necessarily because they're single. They might choose to take a different holiday to their partner, or they might want to go away with a friend, but just have their own room, yet be as part of a group and have a tour manager as well to give them that beyond the guidebook experience. So that's what we do at Just You. We've won quite a few awards, mainly in the UK, but we have been selling in the Canadian market for a number of years now as well. And we're pleased to say that we've been received very well. And like I say, working with Danny and AlmonTravel, they've become a specialist in solo travel as well. So we've got tours all across the globe, something to suit everybody, I'd like to think, you know, from trips to Europe to those little bit further away destinations as well, or perhaps those more unique trips and those once in a lifetime holidays that you're looking for to create those special memories, come home and tell your friends about, and all those new experiences that you're doing. We've got different travel styles as well, which I'm going to go through too. So whether you're looking for more of a classic trip where you're visiting lots of destinations in one holiday or vacation, or perhaps you're looking for more of a relaxed trip as well, where you stay in maybe one or just two hotels, we have that too. So there's holidays which are a little bit more physically demanding. And actually, I'm going to cover one of our walking tours of the Amalfi Coast later on as well. So I like to think you are in expert hands. So all there is to do now is to begin your adventure with Just You. You just need to pick the destination, where you want to go, the travel style that you're looking for, and then tailor your trip as you please. There really is something for everybody, but it's about us taking care of all your needs. Now, the best way for me to describe any Just You trip is that you're traveling solo, yet you're never alone. That really, really is the best sentence I can describe. You'll be traveling with like-minded people. So everybody in the group will be traveling on that tour because they have the same interests as you, and they're all traveling solo. Some people may be traveling for the first time solo. Others may have traveled with Just You a number of times, but I guarantee the mix and the blend together, you'll have that unique experience like no other. There's different ages as well. So we're an open-aged company, which means that, you know, you might have 30-year-olds, or there might also be an 80-year-old on the trip as well. But you all have that same sense of adventure. You're all traveling on that tour, visiting that destination because you've got a common interest, and you all want to have an experience, a trip of a lifetime, basically. So we always make sure you dine as a group every day as well, because every tour has breakfast included. And many tours also have the dinners included as well. I'm actually going to mention some that do include breakfast and dinner. But, you know, sometimes I do remember going on one tour, and I came part way through, and it was in Spain, and the laughter that I could hear from the restaurant was so loud. And, you know, I thought, oh, it looks like there was a party, but actually it was the Just You group together, sharing their stories of the day. They were talking about, you know, where they've been before, you know, just sharing their life stories as well. It really, really is having that sense of adventure, and like I say, traveling solo yet never alone. I think when you go on a tour, some people think, wow, there's no freedom, there's no flexibility, I want to do my own thing, but yeah, I also want that you know, the experience that I would never get if I was just traveling on my own without anybody else. So we do include organized excursions. There's plenty of opportunities to do your own thing too. There are free days for you to enjoy as you please. And remember, you know, this is your vacation to enjoy your own way. The hotels are always in a great location as well, normally in the city or town that you're visiting, in walking distance to restaurants, souvenir shops, you know, because in case you perhaps want to just have a one evening on your own, a quiet glass of wine in a little taverna in Italy, then the hotel is in a great location, and you can feel rest assured knowing that you're going to be looked after with that hotel. As I said, there's lots of free time, so you can head off, do as you like, maybe just taking some time to relax on your own, or shopping, exploring the local restaurants, museums, or the architecture. And I guarantee, as I say, before long, you'll be back with the group, and you'll be sharing all of those stories, telling everybody where you've bought that gift for your friends from, and those best restaurants as well. Now, our tour managers are, I like to say, the beating heart of the trip that you're on. They are absolutely, that we value them so much, and obviously, you know, it's been quite a difficult time, and we've been speaking to them, and they are so excited to be traveling again with our customers. Having a tour manager there gives you complete reassurance that they are right by your side all the way through your trip to make sure it runs smoothly. And each of our tour managers has been carefully selected as well. They've been carefully selected because they have years of experience of escorting solo travelers, and you'll also be often joined by one of our specialist local guides. So they live in the destination. They're so proud to welcome you to the destination that you're visiting. And they want to share with you their knowledge and their expertise of the places that they're visiting as well, that you're visiting, bringing it to life. You know, it's about going beyond the guidebook, seeing and immersing yourself into a culture that perhaps if you were traveling on your own, you wouldn't normally experience as well. I think it's, you know, about seeing destinations in a new light, and just, like I say, creating those memories. So our tour managers are second to none. I think the quote on the screen says it all as well. As I mentioned, we like to think we've just about covered everything that you need when you're traveling solo on a Just You trip. And we think that this makes a difference. You'll always have a welcome get together as part of your trip. So on the first night, you'll meet your fellow travelers and the tour manager. It may be over a drinks reception, it may be over dinner, it varies depending on the tour, but there's always a welcome get together. But again, there's no pressure. If you didn't want to go to that, that's absolutely fine. Breakfast, as I say, is always included. And one of the reasons we include that is because perhaps sometimes it can be quite nerve-wracking if you've never traveled on your own before. in the morning thinking, oh, where am I meeting? What time? Who will be there? I've forgotten what the tour manager said yesterday. But knowing that everybody will be there at breakfast is just another bit of reassurance for you when you're traveling solo. And there's no single supplement. The price you see is the price that you pay. So we've negotiated with all of our hoteliers, many of which we've been working for 4 years, to give you a double or a twin room for yourself. So it isn't just a single bed, it is a double or a twin, and that is just for you. We never ask you to share. We guarantee you will always have your own room on the holiday. So as I say, lots of inclusions, room of your own, you've got the tour manager there, you've got your welcome get together, having breakfast, you've got that freedom and flexibility to do as you please through the holiday. You know, you may choose to take part in every excursion, plus the optional ones as well. But sometimes perhaps you'd like to just relax and stay around the hotel that day or do your own thing as well. And there's lots of excursions to choose from, so you can do as you please. And if you want to book more than one holiday, then feel free, because we give you an extra offer when you do that. Now, I mentioned earlier on that there are different styles of touring with us, and 4 of them are on the screen. So we have classic touring. So a classic tour will be a holiday or a trip where you'll move around quite a few times during the trip, and you might be visiting a number of different places. So it's quite a busy tour that you'll be on, but you're seeing all those key sites and you can hit them all in one go during that trip. Then we've got more active holidays. So we do a number of walking holidays, and we have seen a rise in popularity of these actually over the last year. People enjoying more walking, people enjoying more cycling. So our range of walking holidays have become popular, and I'm going to talk you through one of them, walking the Amalfi Coast, later. And then we've got more leisurely or relaxing touring. So perhaps these are holidays, trips where you'll stay in 1 or maybe 2 hotels. It'll be a slower pace, and you'll have optional excursions to do as you please. So it's a little bit, like I said, a slower pace trip that you'll be on compared to the classic tour, and not moving around as much. So it's all about looking what type of holiday that you want to go on, and you know, how active you want to be during that trip as well. Now, we do have a great offer at the moment, and hopefully it gives you that reassurance that if you make a booking, your money is protected, because we have, with Just You, we have an independent trust, which means any money goes into that trust account and isn't used by the company to operate. And it's only released back to the company once you have travelled on your holiday. So you know that that money is safe. And also, we've got a special offer where you can actually amend your booking for free. So that's to the end of the year. So if you decide to make a booking and then you maybe change your mind, want to change the destination, you can absolutely amend that booking for free of charge, and there's no hidden charges there. Now, obviously, we've been through quite a challenging year, but we are absolutely delighted at Just You that we have been awarded the Safe Travel Stamp by the WTTCs, the World Travel Tourism Council. So this is a stamp recognised globally that as an operator, we will be adhering to all protocols and guidelines that are set to us. So you can relax knowing that you are going to be looked after every single step of the way. And this is actually something that we've had to work really hard to get. It's not something that the WTTC give out. It's actually lots of legal paperwork and protocols. So you'll know that you're going to be looked after, and your tour manager will be making sure that everything is right for you. So how do we do that? Well, obviously our tour managers are amazing. They are trained to handle lots of different situations, and COVID-19 is absolutely no exception to that. They'll be receiving specific training on health and safety, and they'll be able to implement that specific protocols where and when required as well. And then on trip transportation, well, there's always been a high level of cleaning on board any transportation that we use, but obviously now there'll be an even more enhanced level of deep cleaning across the coaches that we use, and again adhering to all local protocols and guidelines. There'll be hand sanitizer available, but obviously we would recommend that you bring your own too as well. Like I think most of us either have it in our pockets or bags or whatever. Then accommodation. Our accommodation, we're working with all of our providers. Like I say, many of them, particularly in Italy, maybe a small family-run property. So we're working with them at the moment to make sure that they are ready with all the right protocols and guidelines in place that their countries and our countries have set for them, and that they're ready to welcome you back to traveling, and they cannot wait. They are bending over backwards, and they are getting everything ready for everybody. And they'll always, as I said, always make sure you've got a room of your own, we are, like I said, working really hard with them at the moment, and it's fantastic to see the work that's being put in. And then, of course, you've got all the local culture and sites. The reason why you're on the trip is to go and see the museums, the galleries, and all of those off the beaten track. And we'll be making sure at Just You that we are covering, you know, your holiday experience is not affected by any protocols which may be in place. So we're working again closely with all our local partners to make sure that we've got entry into local attractions, meals are included where they need to be, and any other experiences that we offer adhere to all of those health and safety standards along the way as well. So that's how we're looking after you. You've got excellent tour managers. We've got our safe travel stamp. You know that if you book, you can amend your booking as well, free of charge. Now, I'm really, really pleased to say, and we're all looking to the future, because I think we all would agree, we cannot wait to get back out traveling again and see the world and go and see those communities that have been affected by tourists not visiting, and helping everything, you know, get back to some sort of normality. So we do have 24 tours on sale now for 2022. And I'm going to talk you through 2 of them now, just to give you an idea and hopefully whet your appetite for the future. So I wanted to highlight this tour in particular because Croatia's Istrian coast. Croatia seems to be on everybody's hot list at the moment. It really does seem to be one of the most popular destinations. And this tour is quite unique because it gives you the opportunity to explore the northern region of Croatia. So perhaps not the busier Dubrovnik, for example, but the northern region, which is a great combination of history, idyllic scenery, and picturesque coastlines as well. So the hotel you're staying here is a 4-star hotel. It's right on the seafront in Lovran. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it's an absolutely charming, beautiful town, a very relaxed atmosphere, and you'll stay in this hotel for the full 7 days of the tour. And just some highlights. So on this tour, you're going to visit the UNESCO listed Plitzvis National Park. And here in this national park, there are 16 beautiful lakes that spill out and form an impressive waterfalls. And so you spend the day wandering around the bridges and the paths. Plus also we take you on a boat trip across the largest lake in the park. And that's a great opportunity to spot wildlife too. So you can see deer, wild boar, and amazing birds too. And then one of the other highlights of this tour is that we take you on an excursion to Apatia, and you'll have a stroll around the beautiful town and the maintained gardens that are along the coastal promenade in Apatia. It forms just an amazing backdrop to the town's beautiful, elegant villas and hotels in the coastline. There's shops and cafes there as well. But one of the reasons I wanted to tell you about this is because we also take you to a chocolate baking demonstration, of course, followed by some tasting as well. And then in that evening, you'll have the opportunity, go and join a local Kavana themed dinner in the hotel, and that's where you'll be able to sample some local specialities and local food as well. So it's a relaxed pace tour. It gives you lots of freedom to be able to do your own thing, but you do see those unique sites and have those experiences that if you were traveling solo and with not part of the group, you perhaps wouldn't be able to see that. So it really is a great tour to soak up Croatia and the culture of Croatia and their way of life. Okay, so now I thought I'd give you a taster of a slightly more active tour in Italy, and I think we can't go without talking about the Amalfi Coast. You know, the Amalfi Coast is probably one of the most famous coastlines in the world, and this trip includes all breakfast and all dinners as well. So walking the Amalfi Coast. During this trip, we will take 4 different walks over the week. So it is fairly active, but there's also 2 full days of free time as well. And here you do have the chance to take optional excursions if you prefer to, or maybe you just want to stay around the hotel and read a book, or like I say, go shopping, or just relax and do your own thing. So the hotel here is located on a hilltop in Massalubrenzi, which is a fishing village, and it's just about a 15-minute drive from Sorrento, so it's not very far. It overlooks the sea, and it's actually in walking distance to the waterfront hotels, and the hotel has facilities like a bar, restaurant, swimming pool, a sun terrace, and even private access to a beach that's a rocky beach, but it's absolutely a great hotel and a fabulous location. So I'm not going to go through every single day of the tour, but I wanted to tell you about a couple of days and the things that you'll see. So on the second day of the tour, you'll take a walk and follow an ancient path that leads you to Sorrento. And on the way and during the walk, you'll stop for lunch at a fabulous traditional Italian farm that grows lemons, oranges, olives, and grapes. And they also have their own cows on the farm as well. Now, the farmer will demonstrate to you here how he uses cow's milk to create and make his own ricotta and mozzarella cheese. And of course, you won't be leaving without sampling that local produce during lunch with perhaps a glass of wine. And of course, we can't leave a lemon farm without having limoncello in Amalfi. So then you'll continue your walk and you'll reach a beautiful fishing village called Marina Grande. And that's where you'll board a private boat just for the group. And then you'll take a cruise along part of the coast. So a perfect way to end the walk that you've done there, sit back and relax. And I think that's about a 5K walk that day. So a wonderful day. Now it's day 3. And it's time on day 3 that we take you a little bit further today. So on day 3, you actually walk 8K, which is the furthest that you would walk on any of these on this particular tour. And this day, you are going to explore the Amalfi Coast. And as I said before, it really is one of the most stunning and famous coastlines and the most picturesque coastlines. So you'll start in Amalfi town, and then you'll follow the old Valle dei Ferrari. And I hope I'm saying that right as well. And you'll go through woodland, and here you'll arrive at a mill and you'll learn how paper was made in the days of the Maritime Republic. And it really is a fantastic experience. And then you'll continue through the national park where you'll see those stunning waterfalls, gigantic ferns, and it really is a piece of natural history from the past. And that's something that's very special to experience there. And then on the way back, which is via coach, you're going to stop at the town Ravello, which is again another iconic town on the Amalfi Coast, which has absolutely spectacular scenery and great photo opportunities here as well. So that's quite a busy day. And then you have some free days, as I said earlier on. So there's on one of the free days, you can actually join an optional trip of Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius if you'd like to. And obviously, if you've not been to Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius, it really is a must-see. You know, to see this Roman city and how it was buried in ash and rubble when Mount Vesuvius erupted is a sight like no other. And on this excursion, you'll be joined by a local guide. So this, you know, the local guide will make sure that you get all the insight of the last days of the people that lived in Pompeii. So you'll see their homes, Roman baths, lots of quirky things, but you'll also see things like the bakeries, which actually still have bread in the oven as well. So it really is a fantastic optional excursion should you wish to take it. Now, if you're really looking to experience more of the Amalfi Coast, but perhaps not walking it, we also have a trip called Pompeii, Sorrento, and the Bay of Naples. And this is a trip that focuses on the three key areas that I've mentioned. And here the hotel is located right in the central Pompeii. So you do have excursions included in that particular tour. It's obviously not as high a pace as the walking tour, but you do have a full day excursion in Pompeii, and there's free time as well. And with your hotel being in such a great location, many people choose to go back in their own time and experience Pompeii again, one last time before they come home. So that's just a short take of this particular tour, and also the Croatia one. I've only really touched on 2 or 3 days, and we're halfway through. So you can imagine there is a lot to see, a lot to do, should you wish to do so. I could talk all evening to you about it, but we've got there's over 20 tours for me to tell you about, but I'm sure you've all got an idea of where you'd like to go next year, and you know, what's that trip of a lifetime for you. So I'd like to say thank you very much. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Danny, as I mentioned earlier, and the AlmonTravel team are specialists in solo travel and have lots of experience. We work very closely together. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'm sure we'll be able to help you. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sarah. And any questions that come in, we'll just gather them up, and when I've finished talking, we can deal with those.
Yeah.
It's a very enjoyable presentation. I was kind of just a little chuckling to myself when you're saying, I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. You know what I found so delightful was just that your British accent. You could say anything you want, and it just sounds so great.
Oh, I did try. I did try to Google the pronunciation of a few of the words, but when you're learning Croatia and Italian at the same time, it's a little bit difficult. It just means I need to go there more to practice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your company offers some great different travel styles. I really like. I've taken coach tours, which are very relaxed, and those focus on spending a couple of days in each destination, as opposed to getting up and packing at 6 o'clock in the morning and getting on the bus. So, everybody has their own travel style. Some people are active and like to be busy the whole time, and other people like to just relax and take it in. So I think that's wonderful. The idea of open age, you're absolutely right there. It's all about common interest. And if you're talking with somebody that might be 30 years your senior or 20 years your junior, age really isn't a factor. It's the interest in the area that you're visiting. So, and the idea of dining in the morning, and being able to sort of establish contact with your group members and share stories. I've experienced that myself, and it is wonderful. What else? Yeah, the idea, travel all over the world has suffered, and in our area here in North America, Caribbean countries are in really bad shape because tourism provides about 90% of their income. We were talking about Greece.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the program, and the concern that we all have about different countries that rely on tourism, hoping that travel will come back as quickly as possible, so that people can enjoy travel and countries can benefit from us visiting them. Your description of the Amalfi Coast, lovely. You and I about a week ago talked about Pompeii. I've been there, and it's sobering. It's a very sobering visit. It's amazing. Looking down at the cobbled streets with the wheels having worn tracks in the cobblestones, and I've seen that bakery that you've talked about. Also visited a house of ill repute, which was kind of neat too.
But I nearly put that in, but I wasn't sure. But it is one that everybody remembers, isn't it?
And to see Vesuvius off as the backdrop for the city as you're wandering through, anybody that's traveling in that area, it's an absolute must see for you to be able to take that in. So that's essentially what I've taken from this. I don't know if there are any questions, and certainly if anybody sends me any questions based on the recording, or maybe thinks of something after the fact, I can certainly be in touch with you, and we can get answers for those.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to help you with any questions that anybody may have. Like I said, I think we're all looking forward to traveling again, aren't we? And we mentioned the communities, and one thing I haven't talked about in this, it was that we do work with a lot of social enterprise projects in destinations as well. So quite a few of our tours, we support women and youth and community, and we maybe go to a cafe that we've supported, and our customers visit there and they learn different cooking things. And it's all about, I think the last year that we've all had, and it doesn't matter where we are in the world, our communities have played such a huge part in it. And I think now, community at home, communities overseas, communities that we visit, we want to make a difference. We want to have that great holiday that we've all been looking forward to, but we also want to know that we're making a difference to these places that we're doing, and we are absolutely committed to doing that as well. So yeah, it's like you say, it's a great opportunity to have that adventure of a lifetime, and experience new things, and know that you're doing good as well. So
well, support pre-COVID was important, even more important now. So
absolutely.
let's hope normality occurs pretty soon. So thank you very much, Sarah, for this enjoyable presentation on what Just You Solo Travels can offer this special segment of the traveling public. I would like to take a minute now just to talk about what's coming up next week. At 6:30 Atlantic Standard or Atlantic Daylight Time, Tuesday, June the 8th, we will have a presentation by Kaz Brown of Intrepid Tours, who will highlight a trip to exotic Morocco with such notable visits to Casablanca, the Sahara Desert, and Marrakesh, as well as other mysterious places in the Middle East. So if you're interested in that, listening folks, please sign in on that. So Sarah, thank you again very, very much. Really appreciate your time, and it was very enjoyable to listen to your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody joining, and I hope that lots of people will enjoy it when they watch it back as well. So thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.